Alright guys, in this lesson I'm just going to do a brief overview of the supplier onboarding process. So this is the spreadsheet. You should have downloaded this a while ago, and what you'll be doing is taking all of your approved suppliers here, and you'll be moving just their name and their website over to this tab. Once you've done that, you'll also want to move the SKU and price sheet link right here. So these are the three things you'll need in order to create one of the product listing guides so that you can hire the Fiverr gig. And so all the tabs up here are linked to what you'll need. So the product listing guide lesson is linked right here. The Fiverr gig itself is linked right here. The lesson for, and then once you have the product added, the lesson for adding checklist tags, making sure the compare at price is done, resizing photos, adding the policies, the brand collections, keyword list, the tag for the merchant center, and hiding the demo products in that particular category. Those are all linked here. So all you have to do is go left to right and top to down. So it's a really easy process. And yeah, that's it, guys. So follow the process and scale it. Just repeat all these steps for each particular supplier, and or have your VA do it for you, and yeah, get it done. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Hey guys, welcome to this lesson on product uploading. This is going to be a big lesson, and it's super important that you watch the whole thing, and I'm going to try to do a product upload right here for you, and so you can kind of follow along and watch it the first time and get an idea for how it works, and then do it yourself the second time, or you can just try to do it yourself the first time. Okay, so there's a long process to do it the right way, and I'm going to be using this same training to train my team, so you could of course, give this training to your VA as well if you want to do it that way, or you just do it yourself. Okay. So without further ado, let's get into the lesson. Alright guys, so here we are in the lesson. I'm creating it right now, and this is the checklist that you'll have access to below this video. Okay, so in the checklist, what the first step is getting all your assets ready for product uploading. And this is including the price sheet, the cost map, and MSRP. This is the barcodes if available. Some suppliers will lack some of these things. Every supplier is different. Like for instance, some suppliers will have a price sheet only with cost and map and no MSRP. That sometimes happens. Some suppliers won't have any map, and so they'll only have cost and MSRP, so you have to create your own selling price. Okay, so I'll go over some of those particular instances in a separate video below. We're going to assume that right now we have all of these things. So we have, assuming we have a supplier with price sheet with cost map and MSRP, barcodes available, images, a source of images, whether it be that supplier's website or whether it be some sort of an image file, download file, descriptions, again, whether it's a supplier's website or maybe a CSV file they provide you with, videos if available, if a supplier has like a YouTube channel and they're uploaded there or whatever, maybe a Dropbox folder or something with videos, and a list of bestsellers if they have that available. These things are all covered, of course, in the lesson on supplier, getting suppliers and what to get after you get them on board. Okay, and these are most important things to have. So just want to clear something up really quick. As far as descriptions go, don't ever copy something from a competitor's store, okay? It's really important that you don't do that, because competitors are like other people just like you and me, okay? And we have small businesses, and every time we pay somebody to make a description, we pay somewhere between like $20 all the way up to $100 to get a really good description made, sales page done. It takes a lot of time and effort to do that. So when you go and copy someone's content off a competitor's store, it's just like ripping off all that money and hard work and time invested that they put in to make a unique description. So don't do that. Instead, what you should do is, yes, copy and paste from your supplier's website if they have a description to start out with, so you at least have a baseline. And then go and hire a writer if you don't want to write it yourself to make a nice, solid, feature benefit-driven, copy sales filled description, and then upload that using the lesson in the Masterclass in the future, showing you how to do that. I have a whole lesson on how to do that. So I just want to make sure that you're clear that do not upload descriptions from competitors' websites, only suppliers. All right, the next thing we're going to go over is the title template. I'm going to show you how to change supplier title templates to the title template that you'll want. Of course, here's the issue with the description we just talked about, but I'm going to show you kind of generally speaking how to fill that in. Okay. Oh, and yeah, the one thing I missed was product manuals. That's another thing. Some suppliers have product manual PDFs. So let's just add this in here. Okay. And as far as product manuals go, just make sure you're not going to be adding the links to any other site. You're going to download it and then upload it to your site as a file, and then link to that from there. Okay. All right, then as far as photos go, I'm going to show you how to download only high-quality images from the supplier's website, and using a Chrome extension called Image Downloader. There's a link right here to that as well. Just make sure that that link is set properly. Okay. Make sure you right-click and open a new tab. All right, and then price is map price. Compare at price is going to be MSRP. If there's no retail pricing, then just double the cost. That's usually how it goes. Or do whatever you want. But I always recommend having some sort of MSRP listed because it makes your description, or it makes your pricing look more appealing. If you don't have a compare at price, like it doesn't look like it's on sale and it just kind of looks whack. Okay, so always have some sort of compare at price. Okay, the cost per item is our cost from the price sheet. Sometimes it's like listed differently. Sometimes it says delivered, or sometimes it says, you know, FOB. Or there's other weird ways suppliers can list cost pricing, but you just got to compare the 3 prices that they provide you with, 2 or 3 prices. Whichever one's the lowest is the cost. Okay, and then SKU, of course, you want to make sure it's the correct SKU. And some products have a lot of variance, so I'm going to go over how to deal with products that have a lot of variance. Different colors, different sizes, different options. And each variant needs to have its own specific SKU number, and the supplier should provide that. If the supplier doesn't provide a specific SKU number, you can make up your own, but make it really obvious as to what exact option that's for. So I'll show you how to kind of deal with that later. As far as barcodes go, if they have barcodes, you have to upload them or they won't show up in Google Shopping. And some suppliers have them on a separate sheet. Some suppliers have them built into this price sheet, so we'll see. Inventory policy, don't ever track the inventory right off the bat. We'll deal with that later when we go set up a app called StockSync, where we're going to actually import the supplier's spreadsheet and make it so it automatically updates the stock. Okay, and then requires shipping. Yes, it's a physical product, so you definitely want to always make sure that that's checked. Yes, it usually is, I believe, right off the bat. All right, and then for variants, what we're usually doing is we're making a variant for the actual model name. That really helps us with extracting negative keywords and keywords to target. So if there's a model name or SKU number, then you know, make the variant that. So you know, model or SKU number. I'll just put model or SKU. Okay, so the name of the variant would be model, and then you put the model name. Just make sure that it makes it really easy for customers to choose. Okay, and then you want to make sure that, you know, the color and size. You know, if they're separate SKU numbers, that's fine too. Like, let's just say you have one model with like 2 different colors and 2 different sizes. Okay, so there's going to be a separate SKU for each one. So you have the model name as one, and you have the color and the size. And when somebody combines those 3 variants, it's going to create one specific SKU, and that's just kind of a retailing thing. All right, and the product type is going to be, you know, the main category. So, you know, I can compare this to, there's a lot of different variations when it comes to retail organization, you know, retail cataloging. But let's just say electric bikes, for instance, as we use that a lot throughout this course, and I used to sell them. So electric bikes, the main category might be electric bike or electric bicycle or e-bike, but a subcategory would be kind of like a mountain electric bike or folding electric bike, that kind of thing. So specific types of electric bikes, right? And when we're doing the product type as, you know, the main category, what we're basically doing is we're telling Shopify, hey, look, this is the main category, and what we're going to do with tags is we're going to make it the main category and the subcategory. It's going to make it really easy for us to keep track of all this stuff, okay? So we can easily go in and create auto collections sorting by tags or by type, and, you know, and it just makes it a lot easier. So make the type the main category and make the tags the main category and the subcategory. All right, and then the vendor name is always going to be the supplier name. I usually like to make the vendor name supplier name plus the category, just because it's better for SEO that way. Okay, meta title template. If you put flash sale in front of it, it really kind of gets more attention. Of course, you can put something like, you know, free shipping or flash sale or whatever you want, but having that instead that's what's going to show up in the Google search results. So it's going to catch people's attention. It's going to make it more likely for them to click on your listing as opposed to somebody else. Okay, and then the meta description template is really easy. You can automatically, or you can basically manually put this into each one. Order a, you know, blank today from blank.com. So this is the category. your domain, free shipping, free gifts on all our categories. That would be like, you know, plural form of it. Sign up today and get 5% off, okay? Okay, and if you want to outsource this stuff, outsourcing instructions are below as well. Outsourcing the work to a VA by making a copy of the Shopify product listing template. Okay, I want to show you what that looks really quick here. And basically, you're just going to be telling a VA all this information so they can do it easily for you. There is a VA on Fiverr that I can recommend. And I'm not sure why it's telling me to make a copy here. I think I need to adjust this link. Yeah, okay. So there's a VA on Fiverr that you can do. You can also go to online jobs and get VAs to do it for you. I don't think this is supposed to be for it. I don't know why. Oh, I see. I messed up when I did the link. With this link and view it. Okay. So you're going to be able to view this, make a copy of it. Don't try to edit the actual document. Okay. And yeah, anybody with this link can view. Okay, good. All right. So that's that. Basically, with this guide, you'll be adding your site up here, your supplier site, your brand name, or the supplier name, brand name basically, or if the supplier has multiple brand names, and then the link to the price sheet, product type, obviously somebody was editing this, product type number 1, tag number 1, like main category basically, and then subcategories, okay? And of course tag number 1 would be also be the product type. You just want to make sure they understand to do it the way we're doing it. Total products, your competitor's site. You're not going to be extracting descriptions, only like titles and pricing if no map pricing is available, and retail price and variance. Okay. You'll also be extracting bonuses from your competitor's site later on, but that's not for right now. Okay. You only want to do one product listing per SKU. Okay. Most people are wondering, like, should I do, you know, multiple SKUs in one listing? Yes, you should. But you should also try to make one product listing per SKU as well, because it's really good for SEO to do that. Of course, this depends, guys. It really depends. But what I found in the past when it comes to SEO and e-commerce is that if you have a product listing targeting a specific SKU, you're more likely to rank for that search term for that page. And what you'll do then is you actually add variants for other SKU numbers within that page, but you'll still be really targeting just that SKU with that particular listing. So you'll have multiple listings on your website for each SKU, and then you'll be listing all the other SKU options that might have as well. So it can get kind of confusing, but that's really what works the best. Then all that information we just went over is here, as well as a little thing exploring what exactly map, MSRP, and cost is when it comes to the Shopify dashboard. And then what we tell our team for our internal stores and for our clients is only list products over $500 to start with. When you go back and you want to grow your store more, yeah, sure, you can list all the accessories and stuff like that, sure. That makes a lot of sense for later on, but when you're first starting out, you definitely just want to list products over $500, okay? All right, so this is kind of an intro. I'm going to get my stuff together for one of the suppliers for our internal store here, and I'm going to get going on the uploading for that particular supplier. All right, so this is a supplier that I got for our website, and what I have here is their price sheet. So as you can see, their model names are here. Model numbers are here. So they have a model name and a model number, which is also a SKU number. They have a dealer price, a map price, and MSRP. So they have everything we need. Looks like the margin is pretty healthy too. I'm assuming that they're not going to be including shipping in this dealer price. The shipping is going to be extra. So what you have to determine when it comes to shipping costs, and by the way, I added a little FAQ section down here. So as I go, there might be FAQs that I come up with that should benefit you. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below, and I'll be able to make a separate FAQ on that later on. So this one kind of is going to discuss shipping. What should I do about shipping costs if the supplier doesn't provide free shipping? The answer is, well, you can work the average shipping cost into your price and still provide free shipping. That's what I would recommend doing. It really depends on what your competitor is doing, because if your competitors are selling at a lower price and then charging shipping later, and you can tell that they're really successful, then that's great, and you might want to model after them. But usually offering free shipping just simplifies everything, and you can work some sort of a shipping price into it, or you can create a variant or an option in the Infinite Options app with a flat rate shipping cost option, okay, to choose from. So see what your competitors are doing, and then see if that's something you want to do or not. But having that option, like flat rate shipping or something like that, will even kind of give you the ability to upsell maybe some kind of white glove delivery service if that's available. But if not, then at least you can provide them some sort of a flat rate shipping fee to get to their door, so you're not eating the shipping cost. Now, if your competitors are eating the shipping cost, they aren't really caring. You do have to take that into effect. Like, okay, well, how many competitor sites do you have on this particular listing, and how many of them are eating the shipping cost versus charging for it. If they're all eating the shipping cost because there's healthy margin, you might need to eat the shipping cost too. Okay, so again, going back over the shipping, shipping can be different depending on what product it is. If it's like a 1,000-pound gun safe, for instance, shipping's going to be freight. It's going to be LTL. It's going to be expensive. Okay, $200-300, maybe up to $600-700. Okay, if it's a electric bicycle that is pretty long and tall, and even when it's all packaged up and everything, it still comes in a pretty big box. Well, shipping could be expensive there too. It could be up in like the $100 to $150 range. Okay, if it's a really big, expensive thing like a moped or something like that, a mobility scooter, for instance, it could be even bigger, and it would have to be freight and palletized. Again, shipping's going to be a few $100s probably on that one. So it's good to ask your supplier, hey, what are the average shipping costs, low range to high range? Like, wherever the supplier is located, what is the shipping cost of shipping one of these things to the same city they're located in? Okay, so if they're in Reseda, California, what is the shipping cost to somewhere in that same zip code versus someone the farthest zip code away, which is like Maine probably, or New York or whatever. So you get an idea. Like, it might be $50 to ship to someone else in Reseda, and it might be $150 or $200 to ship to like New York or Maine or Rhode Island or something like that, right? So just get that idea from your supplier, and you at least will have a heads up. You really want to keep this in mind when the dealer and map margin is pretty low. If you have a supplier that has dealer at like $11.99 and map is like $13.99 or something like that, you're working with a really low margin already. And if they don't provide shipping, if they charge extra for shipping in that dealer cost, well, you might get a sale and then be really sad to find out that the shipping cost makes it unprofitable. Okay, we've seen that happen, in quite a few different niches, and it just is unfortunate. So you have to be mindful of that and ask your supplier what the shipping cost might be, and then work that in. I usually recommend doing it either as you cover shipping or you put it as a variant. I wouldn't really ever want to add it to map pricing, because then that just makes it look like you're selling for more money, and of course someone's rather buy from one store or the other. So that's that. Okay, so let's get into it. We have everything we need here at the pricing. We know each model and SKU number. That's good. We also have a list of the UPCs, okay, according to each color. So one thing you'll notice though is that they have like a model, Big Dog Extreme for instance, and then it has this SKU number, but it's not separated by colors and the SKU number, which is unfortunate. But we can make our own SKU numbers with that color at the end of it. So Big Dog, okay, Big Dog, Extreme Big Dog. Okay, so Big Dog. So these are all the UPC numbers. These are the different variants you're going to have for colors. And what you're going to want to do is make a separate SKU number. So you would take like HF201F, and you would go like dash red slash white. You just copy that, red slash white. Dash black slash red silver logo. Dash black slash red gold logo. And just put little dashes in there between the blanks. Like instead of a blank, you'd have like a little hyphen or whatever. And yeah, make sure that your SKU numbers are correct, right? And then you can add that barcode to that particular SKU, and Google will then be able to recognize it and better show it in search engines for organic and for your ads. All right, and then the last thing is I have a YouTube channel from these guys. I have a few videos uploaded. So there's two methods to going about this. In the beginning, you can just embed their videos directly to your store. But also what you can do, and I have a separate module on this, but you can actually create a YouTube channel, get a YouTube intro outro filmed or created from Fiverr for really cheap, and then download the video, okay, and then edit the intro and outro onto it, and then provide, maybe even your own thing where, it says like buy right now at, yourwebsite.com, and then the unique selling proposition, that kind of stuff. You can get that kind of thing created as well. Maybe get that on Fiverr as well, and then add it to the video, okay? It gets like a call to action, go to your website to buy it. So that's really cool, and it'll help it so that like you get more traffic and blah, blah, and you have the video on your own channel so you can grow your own channel. The suppliers usually don't mind you doing that as long as you create something unique with it. All right, so with that said, let's get into it. So I have the website here, so I'm going to go ahead and add a product. To keep things organized, it might help you to actually fill out the product listing guide for yourself as well, because it kind of just helps you copy and paste things over, you know. So you don't really need to fill my site, you know that. Supplier site, you probably already have that open, so it's no big deal. The brand name, price sheet, you don't really need all that. But if you want to fill in like what the product type is and like the different tags, sub tags, and stuff like that, so you know. You can do that. It's up to you. You don't really need this, but it might help you keep things organized. I'll just go ahead and not use it for this, and you can decide if you want to use it for yours. So I'm just going to upload one product here and complete, and then you guys can do the rest on your own. Okay, kind of a similar thing I do with my team. So the first product we're going to do is probably just the first one on their price list, which is this Big Dog Extreme. Okay. So looking at their website, I'm going to try to find this Big Dog Extreme. Let's see, just click here, I guess. All right, here it is. Oops, here it is. Oops, I didn't really load there. Just open a new tab. I don't know why it's taking forever. All right, here we go. Okay, so they have a pretty minimal description, I guess. It's just sort of some talking points there, a little sentence, some specs. So we're definitely going to want to hire a writer to write out this. Ideally, you know, I would have had a supplier that already had a nice long product description, but you know, it's all right. As long as they have the specs and at least an intro sentence, that'll work. But yeah, like I said, before I launch ads, I'll definitely want to check out competitors' listings, compare, and probably just have a nice long description written for it anyways. Okay. So we know that the title is Big Dog Extreme, and our guide here says the title template starts with brand. So we know it's Green Bike Electric Motion. And by the way, we can always just look on Google and kind of compare. Like we know that the model name is like this, so if we just go like that, we can see who else online is selling this thing, and try to check out a competitor site and see how they made the title. Okay, so here's an example: Green Bike Electric Motion. Okay, these guys are blocking Indonesian traffic. Well, that's fine. I have a solution for that. If you guys have a VPN, you can always use that to log in. And I use IBC. Okay, so now it should load. No, it's still not working. Alright, that's fine. Let's choose a different site. Let's do this one. Yeah, let's try this one. Well, alright. Couple examples. So you can kind of like pull ideas from the title that they use. So they use the brand name, and then Big Dog Extreme is the model name, and then they put the subcategory folding, fat tire, and then electric bike, the main category. Okay. Here they did the same thing: Green Bike Electric Motion. They put a dash. They put Big Dog Extreme, and then they put some variants. So they have like a 48 volt, 750 watt. I guess, in this niche, people are really interested in the power of the battery, the voltage of the battery, and the wattage of the motor, the power of the motor. So 48 volts for a battery, it means it's really strong, it's going to go faster and have more juice. And 750 watt motor means it can handle more juice and it will go faster. So, anyway, and then they have this thing called high step here, which is an additional keyword somebody might be typing in. I'm not exactly sure what that means, high step. Maybe it means that it's got a high clearance, so it can clear over things, so maybe it's better for off-roading as opposed to some other ones. Kind of hard to tell unless you read the description. High step, yeah, who knows. Anyways, but regardless of that, it's just obviously like another kind of sub-variant. So they add some sub-variants here, which is not a bad idea. In fact, I might even adjust here to put variant. So if you want to put variants here, that kind of thing, that works. And then you have, again, fat tire and electric bicycle instead of electric bike. So if you want to put, a different version of the keyword, if it's available, it has more search volume, that's up to you. Okay, it's a good idea for SEO. All right, so now we have an idea of how they're listing it. I kind of like theirs the most, so what I'm gonna do is copy the title, paste it, and then adjust it. So again, don't ever copy and paste and don't adjust. Always adjust. So big green bike, electric motion, big dog extreme, 48 volt, 7050 watt. I don't understand what high step means, but go ahead and put a dash there. High step, folding, fat tire, electric bike. So usually what I would do then is take the model number, okay, and then add that at the very end. I'm going to change this electric bike. And you put the model number at the end, just like it shows here. SKU number, sorry, SKU or model. And you can either put it in parentheses or not, it's up to you. Oh, and by the way, the category name should never be plural. It shouldn't be electric bikes. I've seen that happen. Always use a singular form. All right, so I'll just keep these open so that we can kind of use them as a guiding template. So that's the title. Now, as far as the description goes, you can kind of check out and see what your competitors have done. So obviously this person has their like About Us video, and then they basically kind of have created their own sort of listing here, it looks like. And there's the specs, okay? And then we have these guys listing, which is kind of similar, but they basically ripped off what that other site did, which is pretty common in this niche. A lot of people are just ripping other people off, unfortunately. Try to be more creative and not just rip people off. It's sort of an ugly thing to do. It's stupid and it's weak. So be more creative and unique in your sales copy, guys. But yeah, so these are all the product specs, blah, 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 and then you have the brand name again. Okay. What you can do is go to the supplier's website, make the content they have as a short description. What I would do is take the title and also put it into the top as a centered and format it as header 2. That way that keyword is not only in the H1 title, but also as an H2 above the description, which really helps for SEO. Okay, then this is here. Again, you're going to have this all rewritten anyways, but in the beginning you can do this. Okay, and then you copy and paste. If your supplier doesn't have any product description, you're going to have to just start from scratch. Okay, this is how it goes. You just kind of fix the formatting if it looks funny. And make sure you have Grammarly installed. Grammarly is free and helps you to adjust your product listings and stuff like that. Let me add that down here actually so you can see the below. Grammarly. That was a link. Easy for you guys. Okay. So as far as pricing on shipping goes, that was that. What if a supplier doesn't have any description on their website? And then answer would be ask them if they have a description somewhere else, or at least their specs available in a spreadsheet. If they at least have their specifications on their product, then you can have a description written with those specifications in mind. If they don't even have the specs, then yeah, it's going to be kind of difficult, so just ask for that. I'm going to save this right now just so I don't lose my work for some reason by accident. Okay, cool. So you guys are good there with the description, with the short description and kind of like the selling point. Now what we got to do is find the specifications. Okay, so here they are. We just want the full specs, general specs, and full specs. I'm not sure what the difference is here, but let's go ahead and do this one first just because kind of the look of it looks a little bit more like part of the description. Okay, and then I think I need to, if you find weird formatting issues, go to show HTML. I'm not sure what's going on there. Sorry. Doesn't really matter. So we got that. We want to make sure that it did, in fact, copy all of it, which it did. Okay. Did it show bicycle details? Yes, it does. Just move it all into one list. It's fine. Okay, and the next one is going to be the tables here. Okay. Boom. All right, and then lastly, go to the very bottom, just type whatever you're below a table, because otherwise it won't let you type anything. And then you want to put product manual and sales video. Okay. If those are available or not. Let's see. Don't see a product manual, and I don't see any sales videos here. Of course, they provided us with videos, but I don't know if these are particularly on that bike or not, so we'll look into that later. And we don't have any product manuals, so just forget about that. Okay. You can add more content here. You can add like a call to action. The same call to action you use for the meta description, you should use there. Okay. Boom. And then order a, and then it's like usually brand name. Order a, put that on the extreme. So just use the whole product name there. And then your domain. So just put, it's a category of the product name. Okay. And then my domain name. And then you put usually brand name, so and the category name, plural. Okay, that's kind of how you work out your call to action. Instead of sign up today, you would put like buy today. So, I'm just kind of updating things as I go here, guys, to improve stuff. You can put whatever you want. Don't have to put what I'm putting. Okay, so this, of course, is brand name plus category. Cool, perfect. So that's the description for you. It's kind of an easy starter template. You can totally expand on that as you go, but that helps a lot. So now for media, what we're going to do is go to that same product listing. We're going to use that image downloader, the link that I showed you in the description. Just click this link, okay, open a new tab, and it'll show you the image downloader. So what this does, you just click it. By the way, you have to use Google Chrome for this. Make sure this box is checked, only images from links, okay? And then it's going to pull the images from just that product page. Okay, I'm going to pause this video and save it so I don't lose this work. Right, so what I would do is put in a subfolder by the brand name and the model name or SKU number. Wait for all the images to load, and then check the box. If you don't wait, then it's going to keep unchecking the box until all these images load completely. So now that they're there, I can check the box, click download, click yes. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, okay, now it's starting. So they all should kind of line up here at the bottom of your screen, and it should say, you know, starting or something like that, and then it should download. There it goes. So your computer might be faster than mine. I'm not sure what's bogging mine down right now, but all right, cool. So it looks like they all loaded, so that's good. So now I can go into here, add a file, and there should be a new folder then on your computer, all of them, and hit enter. All right, cool. So we have the pictures uploaded. Perfect. All right, now just a little thing here. If there's a picture with a background, and there's not a picture with like a white background, but like a background like of a bunch of other things, or maybe it's like a lifestyle shot, don't have that as your main image. Have your main image be similar to competitors, and usually it's going to be something with a white background and a full display of the product from side to side. Okay. So here we can see this isn't side to side, and I don't really have any ones from side to side either, which is concerning, except for this one. So I'm not sure why this one didn't download with the rest of these. Yeah, if we uncheck that box, maybe it'll show us these other ones. Yeah. So if you do need to do it this way, then go ahead and do that, I guess. What we need to do is hold this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Those are the colors. Go ahead and do that too. So we'll download as well. Alright. Wait for these to load. Alright, very good. So they're finally loaded. Here we are. So let's go ahead, and we don't need to do the logo, but we can do the rest of the products here. With Shopify, you can pretty easily move the order of the products around now. And by the way, they're always updating the Shopify dashboard to look differently, so by the time you watch this video, it might look different. But yeah, so these are the particular products. So what you kind of want to gauge is like what the best seller is. So just sort of see like which ones they have listed on their stores and kind of model that. Looks like that maybe this one might be a really good one. People usually like the black colors. That's pretty much usually always the best sellers, and then like the ones that are colored kind of sell after that. So I'm going to do it that way. And put the white one last. Okay, we're good to go. So now we have the pricing. So that particular model is a map price of $18.99. That goes there. The compare at price of $21.99. And cost per item of $11.99. Margin 36%, so that's really good margin. Profit $700. Charge tax should be checked. Stock keeping unit. You won't need to fill this in yet because you're going to have multiple variants. For a product that does not have multiple variants, you can just fill that in here. So here it gives the option to track quantity and continue selling when out of stock. You can always change this later. Okay, and for now we're just going to leave it unchecked. But later on, when we upload the inventory sheets, we can change the item to actually track the quantity and whether we want to continue selling when it's out of stock or not. Usually we don't sell when it's out of stock, just because then we're dealing with back orders. All right, so shipping, this is a physical product, should be checked. If you get the specs and you can add the weight to it, that will help you in the long run. If you want to create separate shipping things, but for now we're not even going to worry about it because we're just doing free shipping. This is really just for calculating shipping rates. And we're not even going to be using that function in Shopify anyways. And this is for customs information, which you don't really need to use either. All right, and then variants. So if it has variants, which it usually does, check the box. We know that this product has multiple variants, colors of the first one. Okay, so, but like I said in the description, the first variant we actually want to do is the model or SKU name. It helps with creating keywords. Okay, so model, and what we're going to do is just name of the product, which is the Big Dog Extreme. Okay. And then we're going to add another option here that says color. And then we're going to have the color. So colors are this one. Put this over here so it's easier. If you type it in and hit enter, it'll do that, or comma, does the same thing. So I'll just copy that in. Right, great. Another thing that you might run into with certain products is things like sizing. Okay, and if you run into that, especially if it's like according to a person's size, you might want to get a different size product. Bicycles are pretty common when it comes to that kind of stuff. You want to measure it both ways. So you want to provide the size of the product, and you want to provide what person's height that would match to. Okay, like if maybe for a gun safe you have like a certain size of the product, two different sizes in one listing, then you would want to provide those two and then say like fits spaces, you know, this much and up or something like that. Okay, just keep that in mind. So here we have the different SKUs that we can fill in now. Okay, so we had the main SKU up here, which actually would have been useful to put that in there. Okay, that's the main SKU, but we got to do that now here. So each one is going to have that plus a dash and then the actual variant. Okay, so in this case, white, red. There we go. So that's what it would look like. So that's the SKU number, main SKU, plus the variant. And when you get an order, then it's going to show this particular SKU, and then the supplier will know exactly what that's for. And then what we can also do is get the barcode, and the barcode there. So now we're good. Let's do the same thing for each one. I'm just going to put this there because you know it's the same. Make it a little bit easier. Can't copy and paste from this, unfortunately, but I can pull this, I think. Okay, I can't pull that either. So I'll just do the same thing here. Maybe you can find a better way to do this faster than I am. Of course, this will be different for every supplier, every SKU sheet, whatever. This is just generally speaking what you'd want to do. So you'll have to get creative because every supplier is different. Okay. Almost done here, halfway done. Home stretch, 2 more. Last one. Alrighty, so this particular one actually is showing inventory right here. So if you have an inventory sheet and it already shows you what's in stock versus what isn't, you might consider actually fixing that right then and there, but no. Anyway, leave that up to you. So cool. So we got that going. Now let's do the search engine listing preview stuff. That's, of course, it's here. Flash sale or free shipping. We'll put like free shipping. Kind of grabs people's attention. If you actually want to provide some sort of a sale all the time, you can do that. I'm starting to kind of like ease away from providing sales all the time because it just kind of lowers your margin. So, you know, having some sort of other thing is really good. So as you can see, it says 113 of 70, so it's going to cut off at the end here. So what I'm going to do is just simplify it. Green bike, electric motion, big dog, extreme, fat tire, electric bike. See if I cut that out. And the SKU. Let's just leave the SKU though, because SKU is like specifically what people are looking for. Model name, fat tire, electric bike. So it's almost right. And then if you take out free shipping, then it's like 70. So that's kind of a tough choice. But yeah. So on this one, I won't be able to add it just because it's going to cut it off. If it goes over 70, you really just want to like keep the main keywords that you want to rank for in the page title. So the brand name, model name, SKU number, and category keyword. So category. Okay. All right. The description though, you have 320 characters you can use. So what we usually do is copy that in here. Oops. So do that. So order A, and then you just copy the title here. Today from, and you put your name. Oh, I think we already did that. So you can just copy and paste it from the product listing, right? Remember that? Yeah. So once you do it for that, you can just do it for this. Really easy. Boom, it's within the characters. Perfect. Okay. All right. Lastly, we want to choose the organization. So the product type will go under electric bikes. Okay. Vendor is going to be this one, green bike, electric motion. And tags are going to be electric bikes plus the, I believe it's like a fat tire, right? Fat tire, electric bikes, and folding fat tire electric bikes, because I already have those in there. Okay. You know, if we know that multiple different types of electric bikes will be like 48 volt, what I can do is put like 48 volt. Make a separate listing for that kind of thing. I do the same thing for the motor size. Okay. All right, so it's going to automatically pull into the collection that pulls from this product type. It's going to automatically pull into the collection that pulls from these tags and for this vendor. Looks like we're all set, so let's hit the save button, see how we did. Great, so real quickly, let's click View and see what it looks like on the storefront. Great, so the price looks good. Model name, colors, all that looks great. Description looks decent. Beautiful. Okay, and how are the pictures? And you can view, yep. So just making sure they're large pictures and all that. And the listing doesn't look like really funky or something. There's a separate app for making images square, so if you have any images, any issues with the image showing up funky, you can use that app to make it square. Alrighty, so that was it, guys. That's uploading the products. Now, as far as shipping goes, we know that shipping probably isn't covered by this one, but there is enough margin in there. So we are going to go ahead probably and just give it as free shipping. But we're going to check our competitors anyways and see, hey, are they charging shipping? Let's see. Opening and shipping is usually this one. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't see any mention about charging extra for shipping on this one, so it looks like they're just offering free shipping. And this one says free shipping right here. Okay, so they're not adding any extra for shipping. So just check your competitors and see what they're doing and see if you can offer a better deal than they are. There's a separate lesson that you'll see in the optimization module that talks about how to do your offer optimization. So if somebody's offering free gifts and things like that, then you can improve it. Okay, but you know, that kind of thing is definitely going to help you get more conversions. Let's see if there's anything else I haven't covered yet. Should I do about shipping costs? What if suppliers not in the description of their website? Alright guys, well I can update and add new update videos below this. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below. I might even have more update videos by the time you watch this, but this is it for the training. Okay. Alright, so in this video, what we're going to do is install the Photo Resize by Pixie app. What this does is makes all of your photos square so they look proper on your website. Really easy app to use and install. So let's go ahead and get it set up in the store. Alright, so now it's installed, you just click the button Analyze Product Images, and it'll analyze all your shop images. I'm going to pause the video now and get started again when it's done. Alright guys, so now that it has looked at all of our images, it found that a certain number of them are not actually square. And you can see here in the app which ones aren't square. So the point here is that you want to make all the images square so they show up on your store correctly. So the great thing about this app is it's free, so you just click Make All Images Square, and it will start processing your images. And that's that. So you can let it happen in the background, and you can come back to it maybe in a few hours or something like that, hopefully, depending on how many images you have. And they'll all be square. So now when on the product page, when it loads the images, it's not going to have a huge blank space below the image because some of them are like giant rectangles, the others are squares, right? So it'll be all square, and it'll also look good on the collections page. This app is really cool, and it just makes your store look way more professional. So get that done, and that's it. And we'll see you in the next lesson. Hey guys, in this lesson, we're going to set up the CrushPix app. What CrushPix does is it lowers the resolution of your images so that they load faster on your product pages. It also has lossless image crushing abilities so that it doesn't lose any of the actual image quality, but it just reduces the file size of the images. So this is key for making your product pages load faster, which will get you better ranking in SEO, and it will make your ads more profitable and raise your conversion rate. So go ahead and go to the link below the video, or just type CrushPix into the Shopify App Store and begin the installation process. CrushPix is a premium app, but it is not that expensive and well worth it. So but what I recommend doing is, if you have like a ton of products to do and maybe a low budget, is just take it easy at first. Maybe do like, a few or whatever. So what you want to do is, when you're first setting up, is make sure you do lossless compression. Okay, lossless means you're not going to lose anything. And here's the plans. So they have this, space worth of images per month. You just want to start with the cheapest plan possible, $5.99, and then it'll tell you like which plan you need to go up to as your library grows and stuff like that. So again, $5, not that big of a deal. It makes your product pages load faster, much faster, and will get you better conversions. So even if it goes up to like $10 a month or something like that, it's very well worth it. So here you can choose the images to compress, or this is your image will be compressed automatically. So it's up to you.
Like I said in the very beginning, depending on your budget, you may go either way. I would just say automatic. If you have an unlimited budget, just go ahead and get all your pictures compressed. It's not a big deal. It's not that expensive. When you're making a bunch of money per sale, it's well worth it. So once you get started, it's going to have this files in the queue thing right here. And then it'll load all the files that you have, all the different images you have. And it's going to take a little while to finish. As you can see, though, a lot of them are already getting compressed, which is really cool. It'll tell you over here the savings that you saved. So, 5%, 10%, 12%. So it'll save load time. Here you'll see the quota usage. So out of 500 megabytes, which is the $5 plan, this is what we used so far. And then total saved. And that's how much space you've saved so far from having to load. So it's really cool. It's just going to do this. And make sure you do this every time you add new products to your website with new pictures. And that's it, guys. So we'll see you in the next lesson.
Hey guys, alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to go about adding the supplier policies to your website. So it's important with every new supplier that you get that you add a few different things to your website. Number one is the return policy for that particular supplier, because the way we do business is that if you do get a return request, you're not going to take that return back. You're going to end up sending that return back to the supplier. And if the supplier for some reason does not accept returns, which some suppliers don't, you need to state that very clearly in your return policy that the supplier does not take returns back, and that anything that is damaged or defective, that has to be concerned with the warranty policy that they offer and the warranty coverage, meaning they usually ship out replacement parts. If and you have to ask the supplier, like, what if a product is damaged beyond repair? Will you guys accept it back and send out a replacement? Usually the answer is yes. You just want to make sure that that's the case, okay? So they'll have a warranty policy, they'll have a return policy, they'll have a some sort of assembly or installation information, hopefully. And of course, this depends on your niche. Some niches, like e-fireplaces, they need to be installed usually, so there'll be installation, not necessarily assembly, but some other niches, like, I don't know, trampolines, for instance, would probably need assembly information, not installation information. So whatever that is for your niche, you'll have to get that somehow from that brand for their products. And then the key is to create blog posts with how to assemble or install that product name. So that'll be good. And then also getting the product manuals. So this depends on the niche and the brand, of course. But if they do have product manuals, you can do two things with that. You can put it into the product listing as a download, and I'll show you how to do that. And then you can also take the information in the manual and actually add it to your product description. So it's really good for SEO and stuff like that. And then, of course, you can also create blog posts with different parts of that product manual as well. So there's all sorts of cool things you could do with product manuals. Number 5 here is shipping time and delivery info for the brand. So you have a shipping delivery page, and you'll need to make sure that you create a separate page for each brand and then link to that page from the main page. So this return policy is going to have a main page, and then it's going to have separate pages that you're going to link to for each brand. Same for warranty. Assembly installation info, you're going to have a blog specifically for assembly and installation. Then you're going to tag each article with the brand name, and that's going to be that. And then for product manuals, I'll show you about that. And then if the shipping, you'll have a main page and sub pages. And the key here, of course, is to take all the information above, the return information, warranty information, assembly install info, product manual info, shipping time delivery info, take all that stuff and also put it into your FAQ page, into your Help Center app. And yeah, it does sound like a lot of work, and that's because it is a lot of work, but the thing is that you want to make it as easy as possible for people to find the information they're looking for on your website. So you want to have the information all over the place, lots of links, make it easy, make it fun. And the more you can do that, the more passive your business will be. The less pre-sale support questions you're going to have to handle before they are willing to buy something from your store. And it also speeds up the purchase process. If they have a hard time finding information, they may just decide to go with a competitor who makes it easier to find the information. So by having your website full with all this stuff, yes, it does take some time, but it's worth it, because having the website full with all this stuff is going to basically help optimize your conversion rates a lot better. So I'm going to show you how to do it with one supplier on my website, and then you can go through and basically repeat the same process for every single supplier you get. Now, this is the reason why I only suggest getting one supplier at a time. You really shouldn't go through your entire list and get all these suppliers, because you'll get flooded with all sorts of stuff to do at once, and it's kind of, it's too much. But if you get one supplier at a time and you put one supplier on your website and you go through all the processes of onboarding their products, onboarding the collections, and then onboarding their information into the policy pages and the FAQs, then you can do it really clean, and you can step into the next stage of the optimization process for the products, which I'm going to teach you guys later on in this course as well. So with that said, let's get into it. Okay, so here I am in the pages of the Shopify store for my eFireplace Direct website. And what I want to do is pull up a few different things here. One is the return policy page, another is the shipping policy page, and the warranty policy page. I also opened up the FAQ page app that I installed called Help Center. And in here, I'll be adding all that information here as well, like I talked about. And then I also pulled up the blog posts section. So I already got started here with some general keywords, but I'm going to be making some more specific keywords related to the exact products. Okay. So the last thing here is I pulled up navigation because I feel like at some point I can add some more, of these things to the different navigation menus. Now we haven't even gone through and done the new theme yet, so you shouldn't worry too much about this right now because there's going to be different menus in the new theme, but I will have this ready in case I need it. All right, so let's get started. So first things first is to go to the supplier's website. I went ahead and pulled that up here. And if for some reason they don't have a website, you can ask them in the email, of course, for their return policy stuff, but they should have it on their website. So I'm going to look around a little bit, try to find it. All right. Okay, I'm going to pull up their FAQ page because I don't see it off the bat. Okay, cool. Well, they got lots of FAQs here that we can actually add to our website, so that's really good. I'll definitely be extracting these and putting them into our FAQ section. But I don't see any kind of information on return policies or warranty policies, which is what we need. Oh, and by the way, shipping as well. Now, I did pull up the email that I had here. Oops, that's a different brand. And he had sent me some information here with photos, and suppliers may do this for you. They might send you links to high quality photos you can use and extract, put into product pages, and then like a catalog, flyers, things like that. And this is all really good. And but what I need is I need to find their exact terms and conditions. So going through here, I still don't see exactly what I need to find from them, which is fine. I'll go ahead and email them in this case, and I will get that information from them. So you guys may need to do this a similar process. You may not. I'm going to go ahead and pause this video here and then pick it back up when I get the email back from them with the information I need to put on the website. Okay? All right, guys. So I just realized that all that information is actually in the initial dealer application that they sent me. So that's really cool. So definitely check that dealer application that they send you. Sometimes they'll include that information in there, and that's everything you need to know. So let's read through it here. The first thing is they have general sales terms. The general terms apply to and part of every law. Okay, selling prices. So they're talking about how the prices are actually indicated in euros. So I need to ask them about that. So I'm going to make a quick note about that. Okay, and then so using these little notepads is really cool. That's what I'm using to take the notes on. So if you look through here some more, you'll see that that they want you to respect the minimum recommended price, which is exactly what we want from our suppliers. So MAP is good. Now here under payment terms, it says upon order via bank transfer. So I need to also ask them, do you accept business credit card for payment? Because that's what I have and that's what I use, and that's what I recommend that you guys use too. You get cashback rewards when you use cashback credit cards for big purchases, and that makes a lot of sense. If it's a $1,000 purchase and you get a 2% reward, it's 20 bucks. If it's a $2,000, $3,000, that really adds up over time. If you end up making $50,000 in total cost of goods sold in a month, you'll end up with $1,000 cash back with a 2% card. So it's really good. All right, and then so what I wanted was their shipping information. That's part of it, and here it is. The terms of delivery mentioned documents. Only depend on third party. Delays in delivery will not. Okay. So delay 4 to 5 working days for products not in stock will inform you delay will be 4 to 6 weeks. So it looks like it will take 4 to 5 working days just to get it shipped out, I believe. So does the delay mean that it will take 4 to 5 days to prepare for shipment? That's what I want to make sure. Okay. You have no minimum order. You can buy only one piece. In order to reduce the transport cost, advise you group your orders. The cost will vary from one country to another. So that's for the price list. You can use your own transport company. If you want to do so, please inform us. So this is interesting. It looks like they'll actually be shipping from Europe, from Belgium, directly to the States. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out. But regardless of that, let's see. Responsibility of the reseller, but reseller acknowledged. Okay. That's fine. I need to cook. Okay, so this doesn't really provide all the information I need. It just sort of provides some. So I still need to get what is your return policy, and then I also need to get what is your warranty policy, and also what is your shipping time averages, and where exactly does the product ship from. Okay, those are questions that our customers will have for us, so we need to ask them. A couple things I need to ask them is, do you have installation videos and instructions? Okay, and then let's see, I believe that's it. So very good. We're going to send this email to them, and I'm going to also write in the description below an email template you can use just to send the supplier. If for some reason you can't find it in the website and you can't find it in the dealer app or any of the other stuff, I'm going to send you just a quick, I'll have in the description below a quick thing you can just copy and paste in an email to them, basically asking them for the return, warranty, assembly, installation info, product manuals, shipping time, delivery info, and that's it. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and send that email. Okay, so here I am back in the email. All I'm going to say is, hi, I have a few questions about the products and your policies that I need a little clarification on. Here are the questions. Selling prices in euros, does this mean the prices on the spreadsheet need to be converted to USD first? Okay, do you accept business credit card for payment? Does the delay mean that it will take 4 to 5 days to prepare for shipment? How long? I think, right here, I'll just put that question there. That makes more sense. To West Coast USA versus East Coast USA. We just want to get an idea so that we can put an approximate on our website. People will wonder, hey, I'm in Los Angeles. How long is it going to take to ship here? Hey, I'm in New York, that kind of thing. It takes an extra probably 5 to 6 or maybe 7 days, right? If it's shipping ground. What is your return policy? What is your warranty? Where exactly does the product ship from? Is it the same address in Belgium that is on the dealer app? Do you have installation videos and instructions available? Okay. And then, the last thing that I want to do, in fact, I'm going to add that here to the lesson below, is you want to get a list of their best sellers. So you can just simply ask them, what are your top 10 best sellers, that kind of thing. And with that information, you'll be able to put the most effort into marketing those specific best sellers. Those are selling really well from the supplier themselves. Great. What we're going to do is take those 10. We're going to get really good long product descriptions made. We're going to get product sales videos made. We're going to make sure that we post those to Pinterest. We're going to make sure that we do a lot of social media marketing. We're going to make sure we turn the ads up on those products, all that stuff. So that'll help us a lot. What are your top 10 best sellers of all time? And also, that's it, guys, for now. If I come up with anything else that I find that you need to onboard from suppliers, what I'll do is I'll update and add a new video into this lesson. So hope this helps, and do this for every single supplier, and do it all the way through and do it thoroughly, guys. And it does take time. Give yourself a week to do this, because if you don't do this and you kind of skip it, what's going to happen is people are going to come to your website and they're not going to know what to buy, and they're going to be lost, and they're going to go to your competitors. So the better your website is over your competitors, the more likely they're going to buy from you. So the more work you put into this, building this in the beginning, the better results you're going to have in the long run. So just expect this to take time. It's not going to happen fast, but the process, you should learn to enjoy the process and feel good about what you're building, because it's something amazing. You're building a business online, right, that you can run from anywhere in the world. And it will take some time to build, but once it's built, you're not going to have to rebuild it ever again. That's going to be done. And you can just grow and grow and grow. And eventually you can outsource all of this work yourself to some other VA to do for you. In fact, you could probably give your VA access to this course and just have them follow the videos and take action every step of the way. And I'm going to be building later on in this course as well an outsourcing course that teaches you how to use systems with spreadsheets to manage your virtual assistants and their workflow, and to make sure things get done consistently and with good quality. So with that said, guys, definitely do this and do it for every single supplier you get. All right, guys. So what I ended up doing was just extracting the return policy from my competitor's website for BioBlaze, and along with that, all the other return policies for all the other brands that they had for the products. So the way they had it was they had it all within one page, which makes a lot of sense. Excuse me. And reading through this, I realized that I need to make a little bit of adjustment to the page as well. For instance, where the email is here, I need to change this to support, because I don't have a damages at. So the thing about it is that, like, you can extract stuff from your competitors. You just have to make sure that there's no funky links, that they're still linking to. That might be a link to a file on their website. It's hard to say. Maybe not. Anyways, you definitely want to make sure that everything makes sense for your particular website. So it looks like I did everything else pretty good, and that's good. So usually what I'd like to see is that there's a separate page for each warranty and each return policy by each supplier. But in this case, I think I'm just going to leave it for now. I think this is pretty clean, and it doesn't really need to be a separate page for each one. So moving forward, same thing goes for the warranty policy. Now, as far as warranty policies go, they have the warranty registration form links here. So if we were to copy this, put it into Google, open, make a new tab, then we should be able to find out what the actual policy is as well, not just register for it. So yeah, see, you don't. So it's important that we kind of build upon this, If we're going to have the same information here, you definitely want to be able to still offer that, 'cause that's going to be a question people are going to ask. Hey, what's the warranty on these products, So I need to go through there and actually find that out. And then on the shipping policy stuff, what we're going to do is find the location that the products ship from, and then we're going to add a little UPS map with shipping times for that particular supplier. And each supplier is going to get their own shipping time down there. So things are pretty good as they are. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just move forward past this lesson right now and fix this later on down the road when I get to the stage where it's actually required. Because in the beginning, this isn't really something you need to be like dead focused on. It's just something that is going to really help improve the way your business is run in the future. For instance, when you start getting customers asking about stuff, when you get a question about something, go and fix it, You don't need to have everything perfect before you launch. It's not going to be perfect before you launch. Just focus on making sure that when questions are answered and you answer them via either phone or email or live chat, whatever, that you go and you add that information to your website. So if they ask you a question about this product that it ships, add that detail to the shipping policy page and go to the FAQ shipping delivery section, add a new article about that. So I'm going to show you how to do that as time goes on when we do launch. And for now, we're just going to move forward past this and get the rest of the website set up. We'll see you in the next videos. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to add or edit the collections on your website according to your new supplier. So the new supplier that we got is called BioBlaze. So we need to add the brand collection for BioBlaze. That's pretty simple. So just go to create collection to do that. So by the way, this is going to be something you're going to do every single time you get a new supplier. So BioBlaze, and then you can go down here and make sure it says automated, all conditions, and then product vendor is equal to BioBlaze. Save. So now you need to add the word of their niche right here. So their niche is ethanol fireplaces. The reason I'm doing this after I created it is because what's going to happen is the collection URL and handle is going to be BioBlaze. And later on I'm going to show you how to add some special content template to your theme code that's going to automatically populate some content. And you need to have a product type after the name. Okay, so at any rate, that's that. Okay, so make sure you create that for each of your new suppliers. The next one is brand plus each product type. And you notice we just did that with one of the product types, the main product type. But we have more product types from that supplier. So let's check those out. So to find out which product types that are under your supplier, what you can do is you can go to filter your products by vendor and choose your supplier first. And then you can look over here in the type column and you can see all the different types that are under your supplier. Now, there might be a lot of products depending on what suppliers you have, but still these should be here. When the products were added, they should have been added correctly. So you can go ahead and create collections. You can say a collection would be BioBlaze ethanol fireplace accessories. That's fair enough to say. BioBlaze indoor ethanol burners, BioBlaze wall-mounted ethanol fireplaces, BioBlaze freestanding ethanol fireplaces, BioBlaze outdoor ethanol fireplaces, BioBlaze cork and steel outdoor fireplaces. So with that said, it is really important that we make a collection for each one for keyword targeting purposes. So when somebody types that keyword into Google, it's likely that Google will find that your collection matches that keyword perfectly, and it won't just be your ads that show, but it will also be your organic listings that show. So you'll save money that way in the long run. So with that said, it's a really simple process to set these collections up. It's just a little bit of time to do it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so when you're in the collection, to make that, you just copy the vendor name and then copy the type and then make sure it's plural. That's important. And then you go down here and you go to any condition and you change it to vendor. Choose the right vendor. And you change it to product type and you take that type. Okay. Now, doing this, now that I realize it, it's probably not as well optimized as it should be. It should say like something like ethanol fuel, because that's really going to be the long tail keyword someone types into Google. So what I am actually going to do in this case is change it to that, and then I'm going to change this product. And obviously this one needs to be changed as well, but I can figure that out. So if you find that certain products need to get changed the type, you can go ahead and do that later. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and create this right now. BioBlaze ethanol fuel, because that's going to be the long tail keyword. In fact, we can type in that to Google just to see what other things come up for when you search that keyword. They came up for it, and this and that. These guys are a niche site, and then modern plays. So it's good to see that people are already ranking for that keyword. And yeah, these guys look like a niche e-commerce site, which is cool because I can now extract ideas from them, which is nice. Anyway, what we want to do then is we want to figure out if that's good, and I think it is. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and move forward. Okay. In the future, what I'm going to be doing is showing you guys how to optimize collections by adding content and making an image for it, right? But for now, this is plenty. So let's move on to the next one, create a new collection.
Okay, and then you guys are going to do the next one. So brand name again, and the type. Okay, and go ahead and choose the vendor and the type, any condition, hit save. What should happen is you should see the collection populate down here automatically. Obviously, it's not going to do that in the other one we made because I haven't changed the type on the products yet. But this one it has, so this is great. So anything that's BioBlaze and that is a indoor ethanol burner is now populated under here. So we need to go through later on and definitely double check that all these products are correct, that they are actually indoor ethanol burners. Obviously, like these ones, for instance, are fireplaces, not burners. So there might be some issues with overlapping that we need to take care of later on. And that's another thing we're going to do is go through and make sure the products are correctly organized. But for now, like I said, let's just move forward. And we're going to now do the next one, which is wall-mounted ethanol fireplaces. Or BioBlaze. Okay. Doesn't matter which order you go in. I obviously went backwards that time. Just make sure it says any collection or any condition is selected. All right, so there's another one. Now it's anything that is. Oh no, sorry. I should be doing all conditions, not any condition. That's why it wasn't adding up correctly. My mistake. Okay, so make sure. I should probably change this video. Make sure it says all conditions, not any condition, so that it has to equal both of these things. Otherwise, any condition, if it just equals that or that, it'll show. That makes more sense as to why it wasn't populating correctly. So now it should be populating correctly. I'll go back and change the other one right now. Okay, cool. So you guys get the idea. I've created a couple collections now. Just make sure that you choose all conditions, right? Create one for every single type that your brand has, and that's going to really help you optimize your website for SEO searches. Consider that BioBlaze is a keyword. In other words, each supplier name is a keyword somebody might type in. But then also, this is going to be its own collection separately. But having that brand plus a collection name, product type keyword is really good because it's a longer tail keyword, so it's more related to this search term. Okay. So with that said, create all of those, and then, like I said, create those product type collections. So that comes next. So obviously that's a lot easier. I'll just show you how to do that really quick. Let's just choose this one, for instance. I'm going to go through and do the rest of mine without having to film the whole thing for you guys. But wall-mounted ethanol fireplaces is one of them. Okay, and just go down here and choose the type. Should pop up automatically, and hit save. Okay, so all those will populate. And then, of course, if we get multiple brands, which we should, of wall-mounted ethanol fireplaces, those will show up here as well. So it's not exclusive to one brand. I hope that makes sense for you guys. Those are the 3 types of collections you should definitely have from each supplier, specifically just product types, the brand plus the product type, and then just the brand. I know it doesn't really go in order. It doesn't really matter which one you start with, which one you end with here. Just make sure they're all created for each supplier that you add to your new store. Okay?
All right, so in this video, I want to just show you an update of what I did. If you're in your master spreadsheet and you go to the categories tab, I changed it to make it called collection/navigation because that's truly what we are doing. We're organizing our collections here, and then we're going to be adding them to our navigation. My idea was I wanted to make it a more visual format. So this is kind of the way I'm going to be showing it in the menus on our store and the mega menus. And so doing it here like that is going to make it a lot easier to actually do it on the store itself too. So with that said, go ahead and take a look at what I made. So at the top you see main product type categories. So like electric fireplaces, ethanol fireplaces, those are your main categories, your broad categories. And then going down here, you see subtype categories, which means wall-mounted electric fireplaces, built-in electric fireplace inserts. So all your subcategories within those main categories, you know. So it all depends on your niche, but you should be able to pretty clearly identify that. And then next to that, the next column over, I made it say brands, right? And then under that shows the brands that are going to be offering those types of product type collections. So Amonte, Remy, and Sierra Flame in my case have all these different types of products, right? And over here, BioBlaze offers these types of products. And I have yet to fill out the rest of them, but I'll be going through and doing that. So when I have brands that offer ventless gel fireplaces, I'll add them there. Outdoor fire pits, I believe BioBlaze actually offers those, so I can just go ahead and do that. Same thing there. I'm not exactly sure on this one or that one. I know that for sure on this one. So, and then on the left-hand side, you'll notice that I also added brand plus type categories. So what I'm going to be doing is going like this, taking Amonte, adding it here, and then taking wall-mounted electric fireplaces and going like that. So now I have the brand plus type categories. And really I should say subtype, if that makes more sense, right? Because that's what we're doing. We want to make these keyword targeted collections, because if someone types into Google the brand plus the subtype, or even just the brand plus the type, we're going to be able to rank for that and show up for that search. So like up here where it says brands, I'm going to be making a collection just for Amonte. In fact, I already did. I believe if I go to the website here, you'll see Amonte, this is the main Amonte collection, and then we know that they sell electric fireplaces. That's their main thing. So here you can see Amonte electric fireplaces, right? So what I could even do here is go down and a couple more and say brand plus main type collections, right? And just take that, put it down here, and then take this, put it down here as well. So now I know which collections I need to make in the store. So it's a lot easier to figure that out, you know, and to actually just go ahead and go to the store and do the work. Because doing it on guesswork is kind of confusing, whereas if you organize it in a spreadsheet first, you make it a lot easier on yourself to just go out and do the actual work that needs to be done. And then you can use a color coding system to make sure it's done. So like for instance, I know like I've done all these ones already, or I believe I have, so I'll have to double check on that. But I know that right now I just made that one. So I can say, okay, green, it's been taken care of, or I can like make it like a softer green or something like that, so it's not so hard on the eyes. And then over here, the same thing, you know, so that's the idea here, guys, is that we want to organize our work and we want to make it visually the same as our store. So when we look at our store on the front end at the very end of this process, it should look very similar to this, where I drop down a mega menu, it'll show me all the electric fireplace subtypes, and it'll show me the brands as well. And those brands, and then it should also show me the other menus that I create down here. So that's that, and I'm actually going to delete this because that's what that is. So there we go. We got main categories, subtype categories, your brand plus your main types, and your brand plus your subtypes. And then, of course, later on we're going to be doing other collections like your sale collections and stuff like that. But for now, this is the main stuff. These are all the keywords you want to rank for. So go ahead and do something similar with your spreadsheet. And yeah, so by the way, it's really easy to do this where if you scroll to the right, this one stays here. If you go up into view, and you go to freeze, you'll be able to freeze the rows. So if I wanted to freeze the top row, I would just do row 1, but I don't really need to do that. So I'm going to undo that, no rows. But I can also do freeze the columns. So I just did one column, which means that this column is frozen, because these are like kind of the main things. And the reason I wanted to redo it is because at first I had done it a different way, and it doesn't make sense visually to be in touch with your theme and the way it's going to look in the menus. So doing it this way makes a lot more sense, because you're going to be able to understand visually what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this out a little bit more and show you guys what it looks like at the end. Okay, and then I wanted to also show you what it looks like to actually create these collections, just so there's no confusion, because I think that sometimes the auto collection creation feature in Shopify can be a little bit confusing for people. So let's go back to our spreadsheet here. I'm going to build out the Amonte built-in electric fireplaces collection right now. So I've already copy and pasted the name in here. I don't need a description yet. I'll do that later. Make sure automated is selected. Now the key is you want to select the right conditions. So we have two conditions we need to select. One is the brand name, and the other is the subcategory, which should be a product tag or a type. So down here you can go to vendor and type in Amonte or whatever your brand name is. And then you got to choose all conditions, because it needs to be both Amonte and the tag. And the tag needs to be built-in electric fireplaces, right? Okay, so it should pop up like this. If it doesn't pop up, that means it has not been added to your site. It is not connected to any products yet, in other words. So if there's not connected to any products, figure out why that is and get those products tagged with built-in electric fireplaces. A good way to do that is to go in here and, like for instance, if it's a type but not a tag yet, you can pull up the type by going to filter, right, product type, and then you'll see all your product types here. So in other words, just pull up this one, okay?
and then you'll have just that product type, right? But then it might have multiple vendors. So then you can also go to filter product vendor and choose the vendor you want to filter for, and it'll pull up exactly what's going to show up now in the collection that you just created, right? So being here, now we can go like this, and we can take that type, if it's not a tag yet for some reason, and we can go to actions, add tags, and then add that as a tag here, right? So all these that were typed like that, now they're going to be tagged like that. So go to apply changes. And throughout this process, I think what we're going to be doing afterwards to optimize our store for SEO is we're actually going to be tagging all sorts of things to our products, and it's just going to help the search functionality of it. So, but at first, I don't think it's that necessary. So we're just going to leave it like this for now. And yeah, that's how you guys do that. If you have any questions on that process, you can always write me, Trevor at ecommerceparadise.com, and I'll help you out. All right, thanks.
All right, guys, so I wanted to do another update video and basically show you what it's going to look like to actually finish building out the menu as I have it set. So this is what I have set in the last video for this lesson. And what I need to now do is I need to check out the theme, go to customize, and then I need to go to navigations and be prepared to create new navigations for the new product categories that I created. And then I need to go to collections and be prepared to make the new collections. So in the last video above this, what I showed you how to do was to create a template for what it's going to look like on your website for the collections. And I kind of left it at that and told you guys just to go do the work. So now I'm going to go actually do the work, but film myself doing it while I do it. So it makes more sense to you guys how to do it. All right, so starting at the top, electric fireplaces. I'm going to make sure that I've added that collection first. Okay, and it is type or tag, which is perfect. So now I'm going to go to the theme. Actually, I can add a menu first, but I am going to go to the theme. Go to theme settings, go to mega menu 2, and call it electric fireplaces. And then go to menu and call this electric fireplaces, okay? And the next thing is to go to the next one, wall-mounted electric fireplaces, and see if I created that yet. I have. Tag is equal to, which is fine. So under products, I want to sort by tag with, and see if there's any products tagged with that yet. And there's none. So I need to find wall-mounted. Anything with wall-mounted in it, basically. This should give me, okay, great. So it says here wall mount, flush mount series. All right, so all of these wall-mounted, those are ethanol fireplaces. So a lot of these can be tagged wall-mounted electric fireplaces, and instead they're tagged built-in electric fireplaces, okay. And then wall-mount electric, so that's the problem. So what I'm seeing is that the people who added the products, they did that. So what we need to do, it's really simple and easy, is select just the ones that are wall-mount electric fireplace and go to edit products. We're going to edit the tag, so go to add fields tags and just delete SKU and, well, anyways, doesn't matter. We need to go in and actually, you know what? Sorry, that's not the right way to do this. There's a better way to do it. Okay. We're going to do it this way instead. This is much better. Sorry about that. Okay, instead of doing it that way, do it this way. Go to Actions, Add Tags, and then Wall-Mounted Electric Fireplaces, okay? Apply changes. That'll add the tag in bulk. And it added it, okay? Now you can remove the tag Wall-Mount Electric Fireplaces because you don't need that anymore. Okay, and it looks like the type is also that. So for the type, we will need to go to Edit Products. We can't do the tags there. Okay, so product type. We want the type to be wall-mounted. All right, so now that the wall-mounted electric fireplaces product type has been corrected, we can go back to products. And I can even go over to my collections and I can change it to show the type and the tag, which is what it should have been in the first place. So I'll go ahead and do that really quick. Of course, it's very easy to do that. Just select the name, go to any condition, and type. Save. Okay, now you can see all the products that are in there already. I didn't actually have to do that, but just did it anyways. So going back to collections, I know that that is now correctly added. I can go ahead and just type in there and it should show up as a collection. Now what I've learned that looks really good is to actually just show the menu title as that. So for instance, I want to go back through and actually change on the ethanol fireplaces as well, because it's just going to show up nicer. So instead of saying wall-mounted ethanol fireplace, I'll just type wall-mounted. It's still going to connect to the correct thing. It's just going to change the name of it because that'll show up nicer. And hit save, and I can actually show you now what it looks like on the front end of the website. Okay, now you see how it looks a lot nicer. It's a lot easier to read. Wall-mounted tabletop freestanding indoor burners. So it's a little bit cleaner, right? So that's what I'm aiming, is for the cleanness factor. So now that we've done that, I can exit out of that one. Go back to electric fireplaces. Oh no, it's already there. Okay. So I'm here already, and okay, so I'm going to go back to here now, and I've done that. So I'm actually going to like color code these just to make it easier for me to look at it and know that it's all been done. All right, so built-in is the next one I need to make sure is done correctly. Okay, so it is done. It's a product tag, which, you know, honestly, I don't need to change that. The tag electric fireplace will get added to all these eventually, and I can do that later at the end of it. That'll be easy to do. And that will be built out with the tag as well. So that'll be easy. So we're going to go ahead and continue to move forward here. Built-in electric fireplaces collection is made. Let's check if the product is tagged correctly. Okay, and it is. That's great. So I can just go ahead and add to the menu then. Okay, and that's done. So I'll go ahead and hit save now. And in the theme menu, I'll go ahead and show mega menu, select collection, electric fireplaces. And it should be right there. Select. Then the first menu will be electric fireplaces, and the menu will be electric fireplaces. Hit save. And I'll just delete the other ones here. I think this will make it so they don't show up. Actually, you know what I think? I don't think they'll show up anyways, but whatever. So just do that. Hit save. Okay, now when it loads, it should show us electric fireplaces right here. Oh, there it is. Cool. All right, so there we go. Now it's set. Now the images aren't showing up for some reason, so I might try to figure out why that's happening. But for now, what I can do is I can look at the front end, double check that that's correct. There should be images there. It might be that for some reason those categories aren't linked correctly or something, so let's check that out. Yeah, there's products in there, so I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, well, I'll have to diagnose this situation a little bit more, but there are products showing up there, so that's a good thing. Oh, I get it. Okay, so, right. We haven't actually tagged any products electric fireplaces yet. We were going to do that at the end of this. So let's just go ahead and finish up, and then the images will show up there. What makes the picture show up is that this top product category has products in it, so we have to do that. Regardless, we're almost done here. We have a few more to add. So we've now done wall-mounted and built-in. So I can shade that green. And electric fireplace inserts, that's the next one, so let's check that. Okay, that's added. The product tag is electric fireplace inserts, so I'll go to my products and check if there's products tagged with that. Okay, and there's not, so I'm going to erase it. and inserts. Oops. Okay, built in, okay, insert. So yeah, it looks like these three are inserts. Insert series, so that's cool. Okay, so I can go ahead and edit the products. I'm gonna go and change the type to electric fireplace inserts. And I'm also built in, no, I'm gonna go ahead and change the tag as well, which is of course a different method, different process, I mean. Let's go ahead and do that. So I need to go like this. That should come up now, okay. And then I just go to, oops, wrong button. Select all, actions, add tags. Okay, apply changes. Should take a moment, there you go. Remove tags, built in fireplaces, okay, perfect. All right, so that's all done. Now we should have products in that category, in that collection, so I can go ahead and add that here. Oops. Okay, add. And of course, I'm just going to change it to inserts. Hit save. Okay, and the next one, now that that's done, is three-sided. Let's check that. See if there's any three-sided in this store as far as collections go. And there are, and it's the tag, so that's cool. So we can go over the products again and check the word. And okay, so looks like these are three-sided. So it's still type built-in, and it is a built-in fireplace, which is interesting. So whether the type should be built in or the type should be this, I think we definitely at least need to add the tag. So first I want to check and see if that tag's already been added or not. Has not. Okay, so go back. And we're going to go to edit product. Oh, sorry. Okay, give it a second. Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, so add tags. Three-sided electric fireplaces. Apply changes. Okay, so that will have the tag, and that'll be full now, so we can add that to the menu. Change to three-sided. All right, so I think by now you guys get what I'm doing here, and it should make plenty of sense. Every niche is different, so you probably got all sorts of other things that you have to do on your own. I don't really need to do this over and over again, but I do need to complete this work on my end of it. What I am going to move really quick into doing so I can show you is how to do these ones. So you want to have under the mega menu not just the types, but you also want to have the brands that offer those types, right? And that was the point of making the brand plus product type collections. So let me go ahead and do those. So what we want to do is change this to electric fireplace brands. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Here's the thing. We have a brands page. And so when I show you the theme, you'll understand this a little bit better. Let's say, let's just do Mega Menu 2 because we're working in there. So the main menu is this one, right? Menu text. First submenu is this one. The second submenu is going to be brands. And then we have to create a collection for just electric fireplace brands, right? So let's go to the menus, navigation. And we know that those electric fireplace brands are Manti, Remy, and Sierra Flame. So we want to make sure that those are there, first and foremost. Okay, that one is. Next one is Remy. It is not, so I need to go ahead and create that collection really quick. I don't think I've actually had all the products added to the site either yet, but that's a work in progress. So we want to make sure that the vendor is Remy, and that the type or the tag is electric fireplaces. And honestly, I don't think we've even done that yet, so that's okay. This And it needs to be all conditions as well. It's not any, it's all. By the way, all conditions. So this isn't going to have any products in it yet, but we're going to go ahead and add it anyways, just to get it done. And I'll go back and do that. So in the theme, under brands, now you can choose, well, there's the collection, but I haven't made the navigation yet. That's right. Need to make a navigation called Electric Fireplace Brands. Okay, and then we can go ahead and add Sierra Flame in a minute too. But right now I just wanted to show you how to do this. So Monty, collections, electric fireplaces, okay. And then we want to do one here, Remy. Okay, that's not right. Oh, I added it wrong, my fault. Okay, Remy electric fireplaces, and we also need to edit the website SEO in that case too. Make sure it shows up correctly. Do not need the URL redirect. It's a lot of work, I know. Okay, so now that's done correctly. So I can go like that. It should show up correctly now. There it is, okay. Hit add, hit save. Okay, then you can go into your thing and you can go, no, not create menu. Back, brands, okay, boom. Hit say select, and then let's wait for that to load. There we go, okay. So now what we're gonna be able to do is show people that we don't just have the types here, we also have the brands that offer electric fireplaces, and you can leave the keyword there too, which I think is really cool. So I think that works really well. There's going to be a couple pictures over here of best-selling products as well once we fill in this category. So I'm going to do that really quick so you guys can see what that looks like. All right, so you can see what it looks like now. It looks really good. It's got the images there. But I realize it's still the same way here. It kind of looks bulky, so I'm going to go ahead and change that. Again, you guys can, do whatever you want, but I like to make things look good. I think when you make your website look clean, that it makes it stand out and looks more professional that way. So what I mean by that is just removing the excess fat from the words here. And hitting save, and it should look a lot better now. There we go. Clean. So now you know electric fireplaces and the brands and a couple of bestsellers, which is cool. So I can do the same thing over here too. And I just need to basically finish this up. So after that, I'll be adding to the brands navigation. Of course, the new brands that we just got. And let's see here. Oh, I guess actually. So under the main menu, I added BioBlaze. Now I realized that here's the thing about these is that we should have separate, collections just for the brand itself because they might have multiple categories and stuff like that. So someone's trying to search and they want to find just that one brand. They need to make sure there's just a brand alone category. So I'm going to type that in there and make sure that that was created. It was not, so I need to go ahead and create that now. Okay, simple as that. And now there's that brand category, so I can go ahead and just add that in there. It should be by itself. It's gonna take a little bit to have it show up. Showed up there, that's good. All right, now I'm gonna do the same thing with the other brands. So I believe I created I didn't create that one yet, I created this one. So I need to, so I created this one. I need to go ahead and just create these ones too. Okay, so using the color coding system is really good because you can keep track of all the work you're doing. You know, this stuff does get confusing, really confusing sometimes. So use this kind of a system, it really does help. And if anything, you can just search and check stuff. So let's go ahead and keep moving on forward. I'll make a brand thing for Amonte now. All right, and then I can go ahead and add that now here. Of course, I'll just wait for it to load because it might take a little while. In the meantime, I will mark that as done. All right, guys, well, I'm going to go ahead and finish this work myself, and then I'll probably put a little part at the end of this video when it's all done, because I don't want to take all your time up today, so I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so I finished doing the collection, so this is what it looks like now. The top menus are filled out with the types and the brands, types and brands, as well as the brands here. So this is basically what we're going to be doing throughout the building of this site, and you're going to be doing throughout the building of your site, is filling out these collections as we get more brands on board. And the reason why I didn't want to get a bunch of brands on board at first is just because it's more work before we launch. So what I want to do is I want to get to finish optimizing the site. I want to start doing the product optimization, which matters a lot, and then I also want to set up the marketing channels and start driving paid traffic, doing email marketing, all that stuff before anything else happens. So go ahead and get into the next lessons, hopefully. And you, like I said, you're always going to be coming back to this lesson and the one before it and the one after it, just because this module is something that you're always going to be doing. You're always going to be onboarding new suppliers after you recruit them. And it's just part of growing your business. Now, at some point, you'll get so many suppliers that you know, it wouldn't make sense to add any more suppliers to your site. And then you can go start new niche sites or just continue to grow the marketing on the one you have, whatever. So anyway, you just want to keep optimizing. That's the point. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Hi guys, welcome to this lesson on how to make your negative keyword lists. Whether they be positive keywords or negative keywords, these are the keywords that you're going to be able to use to you know, make your shopping ads campaigns work, and use for search text ads, and also use for SEO. So with that said, let me explain this tab in the master spreadsheet a little bit here. At the top you'll see a store link, and what you can do is add your store link with the /product/ right after it. Okay, and I'll show you why you'll do that in a minute. And this is going to be the handle, which is going to be the bit after this that talks about the product. Product name full, brand keyword, model name keywords, SKU keyword, SKU without space, and of course link back to the video tutorial. You can watch it anytime from the spreadsheet. So I'm going to choose to do one right now from a company called Emojo. And in order to do that, I needed to export my negative keyword list, or sorry, my product list from my store. So you go to products and you search by product vendor and you choose the one that you want. Okay, then you export and just choose the 9 products and export those. I already got it here in this one. So here I have the first column is handle, so you can just copy that and let's go back to the spreadsheet here, paste it there. And what you're going to see is that it's kind of duplicated a few times sometimes because it's going to show one for every single variant of the product. But I'll show you how to fix that here in a minute. What we need to do is we need to just get everything over from the spreadsheet first. So next is the title. And if you want to just control click on the title, it won't actually import the title part. All right, so then there's that. And then we need and then we can extract the keywords. Okay, so every single blank here, we can just kind of delete. So if there's a bunch of variants here, we can delete those. This might be tiresome to do if it's a ton of products and you know you have a ton of variants or something like that. So you know, you can kind of just sort of do this a little bit more manually if you want. But basically you just need to have one line per. don't really know if there's a way to create an exported sheet without all the variants as separate rows. Maybe in the future Shopify will add that as a thing. So now we have the store link and the handle. So what I can do here is I can select these two and then use my power tools and merge and combine. If you don't have power tools yet, go to add-ons and get the add-ons and add power tools. Okay, and then just merge the values. Don't separate it with anything. Place results in the left cell. Each selected row. Separate values with nothing. And then do not clear the contents. Okay, so just merge. Alright, what that's going to do is going to create the product link for you. Really easy to do. Okay, and then you have the handle and the product name, and the brand keyword is here. So all you have to do the brand keyword is just take the brand keyword out and add it in there with a quotation mark around it. And then for the model name keyword, you just have to take that out. So Caddy Pro, I guess, would be the model name, this particular one. And again, just put that in parentheses. So Caddy, Cougar, Ram, Panther, Wildcat Pro, Wildcat, Lynx Pro, actually it looks like Lynx Pro Sport, and Lynx Pro Basic Ultra. So what we're dealing with here is an example of like a long tail model keyword. So you see how they both share the same keywords, Lynx Pro. So what I could do is just delete this and make just one Lynx Pro. That would make more sense. And even then, I could just delete it and put Lynx, okay? So that's what I'll do. And it's kind of the same thing here, like Wildcat Pro, I don't need that. Okay, I'm looking for just single keywords. Google will choose my ads for me. Now, what might be a decent idea is actually just to go ahead and make those as separate ones, because you might be able to use those as positive keywords in the future, you see. So that might be actually useful. So links, and maybe a Links Pro, that kind of thing. All right, so once you have this, then you'll be able to enter it into your Google Shopping ads when the time comes. You want to do this for every single brand on your website, and when you have SKU numbers that are at the end here, you just do the same thing here. Let me see if I can find a brand that has SKU numbers on this store so that I can have it as a good example for you. I added this product and it has a SKU number, so I'll just do this as an example. In fact, let me just, actually, yeah, let's go ahead and export it. Okay. So I need is that. Go here. So different vendor. This one is an example. Need to fix that actually. So this one, brand name is that. The model name is Big Dog Extreme, I believe. And the SKU number would be this one. And if there was a space in here, I would put, like if it was space that, then I would put this here, and then I would take that and remove the space, okay? Because some SKU keywords you'll get from vendors are like spaced out, and some people just type them in. So you want to be able to make sure that you get that traffic, so that's what you want to do there, okay? So I hope that makes sense. Do that for every single vendor you add to your website, and then you'll be able to add it to your Google Ad accounts. It's pretty simple.
Guys, in this video, what has happened is the products have been added to our website. So we need to do a couple of things. First thing is we can delete all the products by the other brands now that aren't the brand that we added, called BioBlaze. So to do that, it's pretty simple. Just go down here. What we're going to do, since I screwed up in the beginning, I didn't have them add a tag for Amazon to all those ones, is that we're going to do something using the bulk editing tool. So you guys can learn how this works. If you just select all products and select 50 and hit confirm, you can hit actions and add tags. And then in this case, you're going to add the tag Amazon. So this is going to be adding the tag Amazon to every product on the site, even the BioBlaze ones. So we're going to wait for that to happen a little bit, but what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pull up just BioBlaze products, and I'm going to remove that tag from them. And then I'm going to be pulling up all the products tagged Amazon and just deleting them. So it's pretty simple that way. This is a cool function that you can use to do all sorts of cool organization in your store. Makes it really fast and easy. And later on, I'll be showing you more about the bulk editing tool called Edit Products here. For now, let's go ahead and let it reload. And I'm going to choose a filter here. Select Filter Product Vendor. And go down to BioBlaze. Hit Add Filter. Okay, and then I can check that, select 50 plus, hit Actions, remove tags, and type Amazon. Okay, so I've selected all the products. Now what I can do, I've removed the Amazon tag. So now I can hit the X here. We can go ahead and let's see. So all we have to do now is go to Filter, Tagged With, Amazon. And we should see every single brand on here except BioBlaze because we just removed that. So I'll let it update a little bit longer, and I'm going to pause the video in the meantime. Okay, so I realized what was going on there. Pull up the vendor BioBlaze, select all the products, right? So do this for your brands. And then go to remove tags. You have to type it exactly the same. It's got to, like, I typed it capital in the beginning, so it's got to be capital A. If it isn't, it's not going to remove that exact tag. If so it's capital sensitive, in other words. So I'll give it another few seconds here and let it finish removing the tags. So now that it's updated, I just go down and double check on the vendor here and make sure that BioBlaze is not there, and it's not, which is cool. So I can go ahead and just select items, all 50 from the store, and just to kind of be safe, I'm just going to select them that are on this page. So go ahead and delete selected products, because none of these are going to be actually products that we're going to be selling. Okay, go back to all. And what you should be able to do in about 30 seconds is refresh the screen and everything should be gone. So the only product that will be left is the brands that you have added to your site. You can verify that by going to Filters, Product Vendor, and you should only see that vendor now, which is cool. So perfect. Looks like they did a great job. I just wanted to kind of go through that and show you guys how to go about deleting the demo products from your store once you get your vendors' products added. And once that's done, the next thing to do is to go through and actually create some collections that are going to match up with the products. But before that, I need to show you guys what it looks like to kind of double check that the products are added correctly. So in the next video, I'm going to do that, double check the products are added correctly. In the video after that, we're going to go through and create all the collections, make sure that's created for these products. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.
Alright guys, in this lesson I'm going to show you how to do retail organization. So basically I'm going to just go through this vendor right now, do it on one product, show you what it looks like to do. So what we want to do is we want to make our store browsable. So in each of our collections you'll see that there's a variety of products. Let's just go to electric folding bikes, for example. Actually, you can also look at them on the collections page as well in Shopify, what you've added so far. But the idea is that you want to actually add collections for the features of the products, not just for the type. Okay, so like for instance, in this particular niche, we have like 48 volt, 36 volt, you know, we have like 500 watt, 350 watt. We have different amp hours, we have different sizes of wheels. So this particular product niche has a lot of different variants, right? So for all the specs, we want to be adding tags for those particular specs. The tags will be going here, and we'll be able to use them for search engine stuff. So basically, if you go up here and you type like electric bike, and this is the Search Engines app, by the way. And some themes will actually have this in the sidebar as well. This particular theme has it like this. So like, you know, you'll see the tags here, and you'll see like it's already been done on a lot of them, where we have 7-speed, you know, you have 1,000 watt, that kind of stuff. So we want to basically be doing this kind of a thing. Now, you don't need to make 2 different versions of the tag, so obviously I need to kind of fix that, but maybe we can make like anything that's 48 volt, and then specifically 48 volt electric bikes, 48 volt electric trikes, 36 volt, anything that's 36 volt. So we can add multiple different tags for like sub tags and, you know, broader tags and things like that. So just be mindful that in the Search Engines feature of the app, this is basically the app, it's going to give you all this searchability on your website when people type in the search bar. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to show you how to do that. So when we're going through the product to add the specs, basically what like I already did here was like put 36 volt, so that's cool. So you can also put like 350 watt. Any of the specs that you see, like, you know, frame, aluminum alloy, 6061, you want to make it the same as it's going to be on any of them. So like if I'm going to enter the tag like this, I'm going to, if another product has that, then I want to make sure that like I'm going to enter it the same way there as well. So for instance, like 350 watt, we don't really, like customer not really know what that is. They might, but maybe, you know, it'd be better to enter it as like motor 350 watt, because then it's a little bit more like specific, descriptive. People can understand that. You know, 36 volt. I should put like battery 36 volt, because that, you know, I can just put 36 speed. That's fine. We're basically trying to make sure like maximum speed 20 miles per hour. So the idea is you want to make it look pretty, right? You don't want to have like uncapitalized first letters. You want to make sure that the first letter is capitalized. You don't want to have all caps either, because that looks kind of just copy and pasted, you know? So as you're making your website, it's always best just to kind of go through and, you know, rewrite stuff, make it look pretty, because it just looks better that way, okay? And, you know, things like this, so battery range. On some themes, you have to put like a, like on Shopify's theme, for instance, if you want the thing that we're doing to actually appear somewhere on the theme, like you want those specs to appear right here, for instance, you can do that. You just have to put checklist dash first, and then it'll appear up here. Here we're kind of just doing our unique selling proposition on all the products, but if you wanted to add some specs up here, you could do that as well, kind of like a short description sort of. Feel free to do that. It's up to you, get creative with it. But for us, we're just going to make sure that, you know, they have tags added to them, okay? So, you know, battery charging time, 4 to 6 hours. And once you added a tag, you'll be able to see that tag, like, again, you know? So, you know, on the second item you go to add, don't just add a new tag that's like the different version. You got to have tags be the same as the other one. You know, this one I didn't put the word correctly, so I'm going to delete that, add it again. So every one of these should look pretty, and, you know, this one, battery type, that's a good one. So if you're gonna, you got to have kind of like a standard procedure of entering these, you know, like have like a way you do it, because you want it to be the same throughout all your products so that it includes. So instead of just battery 36 volt, let's change it to this one, because this one is a little bit more descriptive. Battery capacity. Now it's got 36 volt and 12.5 amp hours, so it's a little bit more specific. Okay. You can still put 36 volt, that's fine. It's really up to you. Just play around with it. You know, for this one, throttle, thumb throttle. People might be like, oh, I want one specifically with a thumb throttle, not a twist throttle, so they'll, you know, look through those particular bikes and stuff like that. This matters a lot more when you're driving top of the funnel traffic, because then they're going to land on your website and they're going to be searching around and see like, okay, does this product have this, that, your thing? And if you list multiple products that do, they'll show up here with those tags. They'll show up here under related products, and they'll also, of course, show in the search results of the search names, as people are always using the search bars on websites. If you have different tags, you know, different things that things are related by, then it's really going to help people to search around your website. Okay, so just you got to add tags to all the products for the features. You got to make it look pretty. Like here's is colorful. Some LCD panels are black and white, some are not. Some manufacturers might not even specify that it's colored. Okay, so it's kind of hard to like figure out off the bat, but still adding tags for these is going to help a lot. And it's going to make sure that your website stands out because it's easier to browse, okay? Oops. Well, anyways, you get the point. So just add as many as you can per product, one for each feature, and make sure you just make the word pretty. Don't make it all caps, okay? And also don't do under caps like that either. Make sure the first letter is capped. Just make it look professional and high quality content here. Okay, and pay attention to detail as you do it. That's about it, guys, for this lesson. Once you go through all your different products and you add all the features as tags, and you combine them all, you'll be able to use these tags then to make new collections. So let's say you want to make a collection for 36 volt specifically batteries or whatever, 36 volt electric bikes. So let's just type 36V and see what we find. Okay, that's fine. You can just add that tag, that's fine. Now you know that you've tagged all your electric bikes as 36 volt. Well, you can go up here to collections. You can create an auto collection in Shopify that pulls all the products that you've tagged with 36 volt into this one. So you can put like 36 volt electric bikes, okay? And this is an electric bike, not an electric trike, so let's just tag it 36 volt electric bikes. It's kind of like a subcategory, right? Product tag is equal to that, okay? And then save that category. Any product with that tag is not going to show up there. And then you can go to your online store, right, and navigation, and you can add it to your menus and mega menus. So this is how you would do it. Basically, you would say, like under your main menu for electric bikes, you have sub-menus like electric city bikes, electric mountain bikes. You want to create another sub-menu because the mega menu, I think, can fit up to like 9 menus inside of it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, or something like that, 8 or 9. So you can create another menu that says, like, let's just call it electric bike features or something like that. Like, come up with your own version of that. But add a menu, go to link 36 volt electric bikes. It should pull up this collection at this point because you created it. Okay, and it'll automatically make the text the same as the collection name. You just click add and then save. Now if you go back to your theme and go to customize, you can add it to the mega menu. To make your store way more browsable, you should definitely do this. Don't overdo it, but definitely do it enough. Okay, so let's see here. If you go to customize, and theme settings, and mega menu 1 in this case, right? And then all you have to do is go to not sure what's happening here. There we go. Oh, no. Almost had it. No. Okay, well, let's just pretend it's 1 because it's like glitching up right now. Like this one needs a name to it, electric. So anyway, what we need to do is just pretend it's here. So we name that menu electric bike features. So we copy the name of the menu and then we put it here. And then we would select the menu for that particular one. And then boom, you have the menu added, and it's going to show up here as soon as that little green bar ends up, finishing. Boom. So I'll just pretend that was over there, but yeah, this is going to be cool because then somebody can look in this mega menu that's browsing and see, oh yeah, I can search all 36-volt electric bikes, and then that collection will show up. That'll also help for SEO because people do type in those generic keywords. And you can find specific keyword volume by going through the keyword research lesson earlier, and find out exactly which keywords you should be trying to rank these collection pages for in SEO. And of course, then once you know the keywords are getting a lot of traffic, you can send search traffic as well. That kind of thing. You can go pretty far with it. So I'm just going to remove that because it's not supposed to be there. And I'm going to let my team work on my own website and kind of do this whole training throughout here. They need to fix some stuff up anyways. And they're going to be adding like menus and features and stuff like that. So I guess you can check back on the website and see how it looks later. But that's the training, guys. That's pretty much how it goes. And hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, comment below. Okay, thanks a lot.